test, test. Testing, testing the screen. Y'all forgive me, it's been a minute. All right, now that everybody can hear me, welcome to 285 Live. This is Outside the Perimeter. It's your boy Mad Dog once again. Took a week off last week. I didn't have much to say, I guess, or I didn't have enough time to do it. Last week was rough for the Falcons. No, we ended up losing pretty bad to the Seahawks last week, which I thought would have been a more competitive game, but you can't win them all. You can't have good games every week. We've showed promise, which is good, but we just got to put it all together. And I think we're still missing some pieces, especially on the defense, man. Our defense, as much as, I talked about Bates and Simmons and Grady Jarrett and all of them folks, a lot of them folks, other folks need to step up. I've said it numerous times. I feel like A.J. Terrell's on fraud watch until further notice. I know he had an interception 2 weeks ago, but that was 2 weeks ago. He was getting manhandled by DK Metcalf, basically one-handed, like little boy status, and that is a no-go. I know that man is way bigger than you, but you can't let somebody manhandle you with one hand. Overall, man, Falcons looked pretty shaky last week. But I will get into all that. We're not just here to talk about the Falcons. We're here to talk about all sports. Even though this is an Atlanta-based podcast, I want to try to reach as many people as possible, and I just can't be deriding the Falcons the entire time. So a lot has happened between last week and this week. The NBA is officially back. Not none of that preseason juncture, none of that preseason whatever that nobody really cares about. The official NBA season has kicked off as of 2 days ago. The Hawks season has kicked off as of yesterday, with the Hawks winning. So the Hawks are 1-0 on the season. Not under 500. We're over 500. And it feels like forever since I've been able to see that. Trae Young looked good yesterday. He had 30 points. I think 11 assists. Onyeka Okongwu, he looked really good. 28 points. I believe 8 rebounds or something like that. I'm not looking at stats. I'm just trying to go based off of what I remember. But Brooklyn, for their part, I thought we would just dog walk them. But Brooklyn looked good too. Cam Thomas, I believe, had 36 points, 38 points, something like that. So in those final 5 minutes, Cam Thomas is just knocking him down, bro, from three. It's nobody could stop him. This man was just knocking him down. Not to say that the Hawks have a good defense in general, but that was credit to Cam Thomas because he was putting up some hard shots, man. What else happened? Oh, and the WNBA wrapped up last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever. But I want to say congratulations to the Liberty. Liberty have won their first championship, so congratulations to them. I hope one day that'll be the Atlanta Dream, but I'm not going to take any shine away from the hardworking women from that WNBA. WNBA season has been really good with the injecture of Caitlin Clark and girl who is not really doing her part to maintain the professional image, but hey, she's out there trying to get her a man because apparently she's only making $80,000. Angel Reese, but that's neither here nor there. We're gonna go ahead and go into NFL first, and then I'll go back and recap NBA because I want to I want to touch on some stuff with the NFL, and since I already got it up first. Then we're going to do this week's predictions for the NFL. We're going to talk some NBA, and then we're going to also talk World Series. The Yankees are finally back in the World Series. You know, that's my legacy team. That's my bandwagon team, so I'm rooting for the Yankees over the Dodgers, of course. I don't like the Dodgers. But yeah, back to NFL. So the week opened up, and this is week 7. The week opened up with Denver versus New Orleans, and look, this just put your mindset in somebody who is an avid Falcons fan who does not like the Saints, who who's watching this game like this ain't gonna happen to us. We gonna show up on Sunday, but the Saints didn't show up on that Thursday, and we didn't show up on that Sunday. The Saints lost 33-10 to the Denver Broncos. The Saints right now missing the quarterback. They got Spencer Rattler in there, not looking too good as a starter in this league. He's kind of like Desmond Ridder, in my opinion. Like that's the mindset I get when I think about Spencer Rattler. Not much to say about that game. Denver outplayed them by a lot. Like their defense is just stomping New Orleans. Going to the Sunday games, we got New England versus Jacksonville. Jacksonville 32, New England 16. Didn't see much of that game besides Drake May showing out a little bit. Then, of course, Atlanta versus Seattle. Again, the issues with this game, it initially wasn't Kirk Cousins, but then it became Kirk Cousins towards the end. Kirk Cousins threw a couple interceptions. It just looked like we couldn't get things going. Bijan had 100 yards rushing, which is good. It's not like the Seahawks had many rushing yards or many receiving yards. They just beat us on defense. Their defense is just getting interceptions, getting sacks, which is something that we don't really get. Getting pressure on the quarterback, forcing the 4 and out. The 3 and out. There's just a lot the Falcons need to do to step up. And I can say that as a Falcons fan. That we gotta do more, man. We gotta do more to bring these victories home. We play Tampa Bay this week, but we'll get into that when we get into that. Buffalo looked really good. They haven't looked good in the last couple weeks, but Josh Allen stepped up. He had over 300 yards. Keon Coleman had 125 yards receiving. And they beat Tennessee, which is expected. They shouldn't be losing to Tennessee. Cincinnati played Cleveland, which at first it was looking like Cincinnati was going to walk all over Cleveland. Cleveland started coming back towards the end. I believe they had a bad onside kick attempt that didn't work out for them, so they ended up losing that game by 7. Green Bay with Jordan Love beat the Texans. That was a really good game because Joe Mixon was running all over the Packers. But the Packers ended up winning that game at the very end. Miami versus the Colts. The Colts won by 6. Wasn't the greatest game. Nothing really special to speak of. Tua is coming back. The biggest news that came out of that with Tua is he doesn't want to wear those Guardian caps. He said it's his body, his choice. So he's pro-choice when it comes to those Guardian caps. I don't think that's a good idea, man. To be honest, you've already come off of so many concussions, and just do what's best for your career. And I know that's weird for me to say that because I'm not in your shoulder. I mean, in your I'm not you. But if it was me, and every time I went to the ground, I literally have to fear for my life. If I'm going to be able to play football again or even be able to walk or feed myself, I'm going to wear a Guardian cap at least, man, just to make sure I'm good. But young man going to be young man, and he going to say that he don't need it. So I just pray for his safety, to be honest. I hope he's completely healthy and he doesn't have any type of issues. Hold on 1 second. Y'all forget him. It's his birthday. He's a little loud. Uh, we're gonna wait till he calm down a little bit. All right, hold on. Make sure y'all say happy birthday, my boy Moxie. Happy birthday, Moxie. He turned 7. Yeah, back to what I was talking about though. I really hope Tua really takes into account his health. You know, there's more things than playing out there as a quarterback. You can be a coach. You can be all types of things. So take into account your health and live a long life, man. It ain't worth it to be this false hero. Detroit played Minnesota. Minnesota was previously undefeated, and it got beat by the Lions, man. This NFC North division itself is just looking, all of them. Just, ugh. I don't want to play them. I don't want to keep playing them. Jared Goff had 280 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 112 receiving yards. Finally did something. Yeah, 31-29. Really good game. There were a lot of good games this week. The Falcons wasn't one of them. New York played Philadelphia. Philadelphia beat them 28-3. Can't say more to that. The Rams played the Raiders. The Rams ended up winning that game, not by much, 20-15. The Commanders dog walked the Panthers, 40-7. The NFC South looked bad this week, man. Yeah, we all look pretty bad. I mean, Tampa Bay, to their credit, they did the best out of us, but we all look bad as a unit. The NFC South all took L's this week. And it would have been fine if the Falcons would have won. If they would beat the Seahawks, that would have been a perfect sweep for us. But now that we all lost, it just kind of looks bad on us. I think they said that Bryce Young's going to play next week for the Panthers. I don't know how that helps them at all, but you can see that he wasn't the issue. It's really just the Panthers are boo-boo. Kansas City played San Francisco. Everybody and their mom was cheering for San Francisco, except, KC fans and bandwagons. Again, Patrick Mahomes isn't looking great. It's just his team is carrying him. San Francisco, they just couldn't get it together, man. Couldn't get it together. They lost 28-18. Hopefully they can bounce back, have a better rest of the season. But yeah, we were all just hoping, the Chiefs' fake undefeated streak gets broken, but they're going to do what they're going to do. New York played Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh ended up winning 37-15. I was high on the Jets early on, man, but they fired the coach for a reason. Fired their defensive coordinator for a reason, so maybe they saw something I didn't see. Aaron Rodgers still looks good to be 40 years old and playing out there with them young boys. But, yeah, they were no match for the Steelers. The Monday night games, which was played on my wife's birthday. Baltimore played Tampa Bay. Baltimore ended up winning 41-31 with Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson out there having a clinic, both of them. Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. We know what Derrick Henry brings to the table. This man has not slowed down. He just switched teams. He switched up on the Titans. And, he's living up to that King Henry status. You can't deny this man. This man is one of the greatest entities that have played this game. And I'm hoping that at least, he goes to the Super Bowl, if the Falcons don't make it, of course. And he gets to win a ring, to cement his legacy. But the Ravens played their butts off. Tampa Bay, unfortunately, man, suffered. Mike Evans went down. I think they said he's going to be out for at least till week 11. And then Chris Godwin went down, and they said he's out for the season. So that's wide receiver 1 and wide receiver 2 both going down in the same game. It's tough. And last but not least, yeah, the Chargers versus the Cardinals, which I didn't watch that game. I didn't see having two games on Monday. I forget that there's two games on Monday, especially when there's like one game that's significantly better than the other game. Apparently, Justin Herbert had 349 yards passing. James Conner had a solid 101 yards running. But the game was a low-scoring affair, 17-15. Arizona won that game, which is surprising. And Chicago and Dallas had a bye, so we don't get to poke fun at Chicago for that week. Week 8 predictions, though. We're going to do these predictions real quick because I want to get to the NBA, and I don't want to just kill up all the time that I got here. So, Thursday, today, October 24th, Moxie's birthday. The Vikings are playing the Rams. Matt Stafford is playing whoever is quarterback for Minnesota at this point because there's been some rumors. There's been some doubts. It's an interesting team right now. They were looking like they were going to be the best that was coming out of the NFC North, but after what the Lions did to them, I don't know. I don't know. Anywho, I want to say the Vikings are going to bounce back. I do. I like the Rams. Like, the Rams is one of the teams I like to keep an eye on. I think Matthew Stafford's fantastic, even though people sleep on him all the time. I think Puka is coming back, so that might give him a little leg. But I still see the Vikings winning, maybe by a touchdown. So I'm going to say it's going to be about 24-17. How about that? Cincinnati plays the Eagles. Cincinnati's been on tear lately. They finally got back to what they've been known to do, which is win football games. So I got Cincinnati winning that by a field goal. Baltimore plays the Browns. The Browns, I mean, with Jameis Winston, they've looked better, you know. But how long does that last? How long does that hype last? Especially playing somebody like Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I got the Ravens winning big, maybe 2 touchdowns. So 24-10. The Lions versus Titans. The Lions are about to dog walk these folks. The Lions are about to whoop the Titans so bad. It's going to be like 40-3. 40-3. 42-3. 42-3. The Lions are crazy. They might do it. They might run up the score higher than that, to be honest, but I'm going to go 42-3. Miami with Tua returning versus the Cardinals, who have been a lot better. I got the Cardinals by 14. 2 touchdowns. New England plays the Jets. I don't really care, to be honest. I guess I'll go with New England because Drake May has been looking pretty good. So I'm going to go New England by a touchdown. Tampa Bay versus Atlanta. Tampa Bay without their weapons, I don't know how they're going to get it done. If the Falcons don't win big on this game, I'm going to be highly upset. So I got the Falcons winning this game by 17. Okay, Falcons, you hear me? 17. That's all you got to get. I know that one time against the Panthers, I said y'all had to beat them like by 40 points, and y'all only beat them by like 20. But y'all need to beat the Buccaneers convincingly for me to just be like cool with it, you know? Jacksonville versus Green Bay Packers. Whew. Honestly, I got the Packers winning this 7 points. 7 points. I mean, I'm by a touchdown. Houston versus the Colts. Houston versus the Colts. The Oilers versus the Colts. I got Houston winning this by 10 points. I think the Colts will still have a pretty good game, but I think Houston has more firepower with CJ. Saints versus the Chargers. I don't see the Saints winning. I got the Chargers winning by 14. Then you got Seattle versus Buffalo. Buffalo is back. So I got Buffalo winning by 14. Carolina versus Denver. If the Saints can't keep up with Denver, the Panthers definitely can't keep up with Denver. So I got the Denver Broncos by 35. I know that's crazy to say, but I got them by like 35. I have no faith in the Panthers, especially putting Bryce Young back in. I don't have any faith in them. The Raiders versus Chiefs. I got the Chiefs. Even though, I will say this. Historically, the Raiders have been like one of the only teams to beat the Chiefs for some reason. But I got Kansas City winning this by 10. The Bears versus the Commanders. That's a good game. Low key. That's a good game. Two young quarterbacks going out there going at it. I'm going to go with the Commanders, though. They're at home. Ain't no way they should be losing. I got them in overtime by 3. And then you got the Cowboys versus 49ers. A classic. This is a classic game. Historically, this is a classic game. And I got the 49ers winning because they got to bounce back. They got to play to their standard. I got them winning by 7. Monday's game is going to be the Steelers versus the Giants. Probably not the best Monday game, but I got the Pittsburgh Steelers. I got them winning by 6 points, 2 field goals. So that is your predictions for Week 8, the NFL. Let's talk some basketball because there was some good stuff these last 2 days for basketball and some more stuff that's coming out tonight, of course. The opening ceremony for the Celtics, they raised their 18th. I'm about to throw up trying to say this. They raised their 18th banner. They've earned it. As much as I hate to say it, they've earned their little 18th banner. I can hate it. I can hate it as much as I want, but the truth is they won last year. They won the championship last year, and they look as strong as ever. How they blew out New York. New York made some changes. They got Karl Anthony Towns, which I guess didn't help them too much because they still lost. It was 132 to 109. And then the other news, of course, which they set these things up purposely. You got the Lakers and the Timberwolves. Closer game, of course, but the biggest story that came out of that is Bronny James and LeBron James got their little special moment. They got to play together for 3 minutes on the NBA court. So you got to rip the Band-Aid off of that one. You got to rip it off because Bronny, he's here. He's here in the league. He made it on his own merit, not his dad's nepotism or anything like that. His dad didn't influence this. So, literally, Bronny has been in the news because of his dad's antics. His dad has poured, Fruity Pebbles in his car, and, he's hazing him as a rookie. It's so cute. But at the same time, it's on his own merit, what is he going to do? I'm excited to see it because I'm not going to hate on Bronny because it's not his fault that he's getting showered by the media. He's the prince. He's the one that's taking over for LeBron. So he's just filling his role. He's trying to be the best basketball player he can be. Is it a big glamorization? Is the media taking it too far? Yes. Is it too much that we have to keep talking about it? We should probably talk about something else. We should talk about real basketball. And he was given 3 minutes of fame. So I'm curious to see what the Lakers do with Bronny going the rest of the season. I'm pretty sure he's going to go down to G League within the end of the week. I don't know if they'll do it immediately because they don't want to just be he played one game and then we put him in G League, just so we had that moment and now we're done. Like I feel like they're gonna give him some more exposure, and then it'd be like, okay, time to really let you develop we're gonna let you develop in the G League. That's what we're saying. So, but he got that moment with his dad. That's cool. You know, Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. They got to play together, even though Ken Griffey Jr. was a higher rated talent. So that moment kind of meant that moment was kind of like it wasn't as forced and it wasn't as fabricated. It definitely was something that I feel like Ken Griffey earned. This LeBron Bronny moment is kind of like, you know, I want to play with my. He's been saying I want to play with my son. I'm not gonna retire until I play with my son. And he got to play with his son, so this is gonna be his last 2 years or so, and then he's gonna go out on a high note. If they give him another championship, we'll see. But AD had a great game. This man spent most of the game at the free throw line, so he had 36 points, 16 rebounds. Anthony Edwards had a pretty good game, 27 points, 6 rebounds. And he was talking his crap to Bronny the whole time. And to other people. To McDaniels or whatever. He said he's been hurt for 2 years. Anthony Edwards is him. He's authentic. That's why people resonate with him. Well, black people. I don't know. Like, his main demographic rocks with him. Jason Tatum had 37 points, 10 assists. Still don't understand how people think that this man isn't a great player. Like they want to write him off all the time, saying he's not that good, but he's proven that he's good. I don't like a lot of people can't really stop this man. Is he inconsistent? Yeah. Is he still? Has he reached his prime, his peak? I don't think so yet. I think there's still so much he can do and grow, but yeah. And the Celtics had 29 3-pointers in that win too. Just ridiculous. They're a 3-point shooting team, so you gotta really close out on them. Knicks, I gotta see more out of the Knicks, and I gotta see more out of the new Timberwolves, which got rid of Cat. The Pacers played the Pistons. Of course, the Pacers won that game 115-109. Cade Cunningham had 28 points, 8 assists. Man is slowly dying in Detroit. He's way too good of a talent to just be sitting in Detroit. I don't think he's going to stay there forever unless they really do some more to get better players around him. But that was probably the best game I've seen from them in a while. But again, it's against the Pacers. So Pacers, Pascal had 19 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, almost a triple-double. We talked about the Hawks and the Nets. Hawks won 120-116. Cam Thomas had 36 points, 3 steals. Trae Young had 30 points, 12 assists. Dyson Daniels, I think he had 5 steals in that game. Ridiculous. He also got clotheslined out of the air by Claxton. And they got up in each other's face. Claxton got ejected out of the game. The Magic played the Heat in Miami. And Paolo Banchero went off on him. 33 points, 11 rebounds. Terry Rozier had 19 points, 6 rebounds. What's going on in Miami? What's going on in Miami? I don't know. They got to do something too. You don't lose your home opener. Even though I've said that the Magic are one of those top teams. I think they're top 5 in the East for me. And I don't think the Heat are. I think the Heat are like number 9. They're like where Toronto used to be before Toronto just got sorry all of a sudden. The Heat are in that middle of the road type of team where it's like kind of like the Hawks and the Bulls or something like that. You don't know where the East is going to be towards the bottom. You know the top 4 or 5, but you don't know the bottom because the East is random. Speaking of random, the 76ers lost to the Bucks, 124-109. I watched some of that game. Damian Lillard was going off. Giannis went off, of course. 25 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Tyrese Maxey, 25 points, 6 rebounds. Get that man some help. He really needs some help in Philly. The Cavaliers played the Raptors. Again, Raptors aren't good, so I'm not expecting them to win games. The Cavaliers had 136-106. Evan Evan Mobley, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 3 blocks. Hornets came and they beat the Rockets in Houston. LaMelo Ball had 34 points, 8 rebounds, 11 assists. He out there balling. Alfred Sengun from Houston had 25 points, 18 rebounds. That's ridiculous. 4 steals. He was out there playing. So Houston, they got a future. You just got to put some more pieces together and you got it. The Pelicans look really good. They beat the Bulls 123 to 111. Brandon Ingram had 33 points, 7 rebounds. Vujicic had 21 points, 11 rebounds. I believe Murray, he got injured or something like that. I'm not entirely sure. Let me double check that. He either went down with an injury or... Yeah, so he has it's confirmed that he has a fractured left hand. So he's going to be out for an extended period of time, which is sad to see because, being on a new team, getting that space to be what you used to be when you were in San Antonio. Yeah, the dynamic between him and Trey didn't work. There's nothing that I would blame him or Trey for. They just didn't. They don't click. They both are ball dominant point guards who need to be those guys for their own team. So they can't be together. They have to be, they gotta just be apart, which is fine. And I root for people like DeJounte. I got his jersey, of course, in the closet. Even though I told my wife not to buy that one because I knew he was gonna get traded. Just you just watch things and you watch a team and you're like, yeah, they're not meshing. They're not meshing at all. So why would this continue to be a thing? A lot of people were saying that Trey was gonna get traded. Trey is our cornerstone, so we're not trading Trey. Jalen Johnson got a nice little contract. I think it's 5 years, $150 million. A little high for my taste, but get your money, man. Get your money. Grizzlies played the Jazz. Grizzlies are back. Ja Morant is back, so there's no excuses anymore for the Memphis Grizzlies. They got to reclaim their spot at the top of the West, which is going to be a hard hill to climb because a lot of teams in the West have gotten significantly better, but there are teams that have gotten worse. So the Jazz being one of them. 126 to 124, close game. Ja Morant had 22 points, 10 assists. Larry Marketing had 35 points, 9 rebounds. One game that went to overtime was the Suns versus the Clippers. Clippers with, of course, James Harden. James Harden had 29 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists. Bradley Beal was the top performer for Phoenix, apparently. He had 24 points. So not too many people. KD didn't play, I guess, to his standard if Bradley Beal is your top performer. But, hey, Bradley Beal's playing good. That's all they really need is multiple people to play good. They can win games like that. And then the Warriors played the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are not supposed to be good. I mean, Scoop, he got time to develop and be the guy for that team, but to be honest, they've been devoid of a chance for a long time. They really need to put it together and get some more studs on their team. Maybe it's a tanking season, You got Cooper Flag. He might be an option. Appreciate you sharing it, Kobe. But Cooper Flag might be an option for them to look out for. I think he'd be a pretty good pickup for any team, to be honest. But the Trailblazers need anybody at this point. But the Warriors, Klay Thompson going to Dallas. They're a different team on paper. They still got Steph. So they're still going to be the Warriors with Steph and Draymond Green. But they got to rely on more players like Buddy Hield. So I'm curious to see how far the Warriors can go with this new outlook without Klay. But Klay has been dead weight. So maybe he'll bounce and do what he needs to do on the Mavericks, but I don't know. I want to see what he can do. I don't want to be a hater, but Clay might not be. He might not be that guy no more. Not be that guy. Today the Celtics plays the Wizards. They're gonna dog walk them. It's gonna be a bad game for the Wizards. I don't even like the Celtics, but that's not a good matchup for them. Spurs versus the Mavericks. That's gonna be a great game. The Texas showdown between Wemby, Luka. That is a game worth watching. I might have to watch that over the football game tonight. We'll see. That game comes on at 7:30 on TNT, so I might can just flip between both of them. Who knows? And then the Thunder plays the Nuggets. Another good game. Oh my God, there's some bangers coming out. And the Timberwolves plays the Kings. That should be a good game too. So overall, 3 good games, and then a game where the Celtics just is going to dog walk the Wizards. Moving on to MLB. And there's only one game to talk about, so we won't be talking long about the World Series. We got the Yankees, my legacy team, the team that I bandwagon when the Braves aren't there. The team that, when I first watched baseball, was the one that stuck out to me. I don't know if it was because they were just dominant when I first started watching, or, I kind of like the little pinstripes, I like their aesthetic. But I've been following the Yankees since I was a kid. Braves and the Yankees. And I've always wanted them to play each other every World Series. But unfortunately, the Braves didn't make it this year. And I had to settle for these damn Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers, man. I've never liked the Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers, I don't like the Red Sox, and I don't like the Phillies. Those are 3 teams. And I'm starting not to like Houston, so not that much, but thanks to their latest controversies and stuff like that, Houston is right there on the cusp where I'm just I don't want to see them play. But definitely the Dodgers, the Phillies, and the Red Sox most of all. I hate it. But Ohtani is the big ticket for baseball right now. He's who a lot of people come to see. There's a lot of people tuning in to see that man. Can he beat the Yankees? This is set up to be perfect for him. This is like not to be racist or anything like that, but it's like defeating Godzilla, because the Yankees are like Godzilla. Can they win? I personally want to see the Yankees win it all. But that's the World Series. We'll see. I think it's gonna be good games. The World Series kicks off tomorrow at 8:08 p.m. on Fox, so it's gonna be worth watching. Should we talk about some college football? There was some good games this past week, college football. Georgia Tech lost, of course. That hurt me a little bit, but it's Georgia Tech at the end of the day. As much as I want to expect more out of Georgia Tech, it's going to be Georgia Tech at the end of the day. Let's see some of the big games. Georgia State lost as well. UGA, they beat Texas 30-15. So they beat the number 1 team. Welcome to the SEC. Texas is what we need to say. UGA bouncing back after losing to Alabama 2 weeks ago. It's a good sign for them. Any upsets? No, I can't think of any upsets other than that. Army is ranked. I think the Army and the Navy are ranked. They look pretty good this year. I'm curious to see between the Army and Navy who's better. Florida beat Kentucky. I had Kentucky being a lot better this year, but hey. USC lost to Maryland. Nothing else surprising. South Carolina beat the crap out of Oklahoma. But these are unranked teams, so it doesn't really matter. think that is it. Let's see what we have for week 9 for college football. And some of the predictions that I will have. I'm just going to go to ranked teams. And not all the ranked teams either. So Ohio State versus Nebraska. Got Ohio State winning. Navy versus Indy. Surprisingly, I think that the Navy can upset them by 3 points. Georgia. Who does Georgia play this week? Can I play anybody this week? Nope. No games from Georgia this week. But Alabama plays in Missouri. Come on, Mizzou. Be the third team to beat Alabama this year. Get these folks out of the picture because I feel like every time that Alabama is be down and out, they always drag Alabama back in somehow. They're like, oh, well, we beat Georgia, and Georgia's ranked 2. Dude, we should be. And they somehow get back in there. But Oregon plays Illinois. It's crazy to think Oregon's ranked like number 1. They've been playing well. I'm not saying like anything bad about it, but it's been a long time since we've been to like not Alabama, not Texas, not Georgia. Texas. Speaking of Texas, they play Vanderbilt. I got Texas winning, but that's a game to watch too. Florida State plays Miami. Florida State has been awful. Awful. So I got Miami stomping them. LSU, the 8th seed versus Texas A&M. At Texas A&M, I got Texas A&M. LSU might have to drop out of the top 10. And that's pretty much it. Colorado plays Cincinnati. I guess that'd be a good game. But that's pretty much it. It's going to be a decent week of sports. This week is going to be it's going to be a decent week of sports. And like I said, the Vikings, they play the Rams tonight. The Vikings, they took that little L last week to the Lions. The NFC North is just who's gonna win out in the NFC North. I don't know. Let's go through the standings just to see, because I remember me and my boys, we kind of went through who we thought were gonna win each division, who's gonna be contenders, who's gonna make the wild card, all that stuff. It's looking like it's flipping on his head a little bit. Some of the people we thought, like the Commanders, we thought they weren't gonna be that great, but they're showing out, which is crazy. It's crazy to me. Starting with the AFC East, the Bills they're definitely going to win that division. They're 5-2. All the other teams are under 500 right now. I don't see it shifting anytime soon. So I got the Bills still going to be at the top of that. AFC North is always an interesting one because you got the Ravens, you got the Steelers, you got the Bengals. The Browns, they're out of contention. But I feel like the Bengals are going to make their way back up. They're not going to be able to catch the Ravens yet, though. I feel like the Ravens are going to be number 1. The Bengals are going to be that wild card team. Steelers, if they play to the same level, they might make another, like they might be that second wild card team that comes out of that division. It's possible. The NFC East does it all the time. So the AFC South, Texans, Colts, they're the 1 and 2 right there. Both doing well. But I got the Texans winning out because they just have more firepower than the rest. And the Colts, they're up and down. It's like one moment Anthony Richardson is playing well. Next moment they got somebody else playing, Joe Flacco or something like that. I don't know what their team's identity is still. And it's been like 7 weeks. So I don't see the Jaguars or the Titans coming back. And then the AFC West. Another interesting division. Of course, a lot of people will say the Chiefs are going to be the one that comes out of there. Right now, they're undefeated. Even though they don't look like the best team in the NFL, they're still undefeated. So, high chances for the Chiefs to win out. Broncos are on the outside looking in. I don't see the Chargers coming all the way back. I feel like they're gonna miss the playoffs by like that much. And then the Raiders, they're lost. They're in a loss right now. Going to the NFC, starting with the NFC East. Of course, this is always a 4-team race every time. You never know what's gonna happen in the NFC East. One moment it looks like the Commanders are on top. Next moment they'll just disappear, and then the Eagles be on top, and then the Cowboys somehow sneak up and be on top. And you'd be like, when did the Cowboys even get 7 wins? When did they even get 8 wins? But that's just how the NFC East is. They're all like better than average teams. Even the Giants. The Giants can win too. I'm not gonna rule them out. Even though they don't win at home, so maybe I will rule the Giants out. It's gonna be between those three. NFC North is the best division in football. Period. They've got the Lions at 5-1, the Vikings at 5-1, the Packers at 5-2, and the Packers were missing their quarterback for like two or three of those games. They were still kicking ass. Chicago's 4-2. So all over 500, looking healthy. 3 of those teams are probably gonna make the wild. 2 of those teams are probably gonna make the wild card. I'm gonna be bold here, and I'm gonna say the Lions are gonna win out with the Vikings and the Packers. Ooh, yeah. Maybe the Vikings and the Bears. I feel like the Packers are gonna fall off a little bit. Vikings and the Bears are gonna be wild card teams. NFC South. We're the worst division in football. Again. Maybe not. Maybe it's the NFC West this time. It's neck and neck. But I got the Falcons winning out because I'm a Falcons fan, and I feel like the Falcons are the best team right now. Tampa Bay is going to be a contender for a wild card. Saints and the Panthers, they're done. I feel like it's a wrap for them. And then NFC West. I still have the 49ers winning that, even though they're third place right now. Seahawks have looked really good in spurts. They beat us, so I can't even say that they're not good. But I don't see them continuing to be a force right now. I feel like at the end of the day, it's going to be the 49ers. So that is my predictions for the standings of the NFL. That was my predictions for the games for NFL through NBA through MLB. And again, congratulations to Liberty. I seen they were celebrating their championship. It's amazing what you can do when you build a team and you play well. I hope Atlanta Dream can do something like that, man. I want to see the Dream win a title. I mean, I want to see the Hawks win. I want to see the Falcons win. It's like there's a lot of devoid areas for Atlanta sports teams. We don't have a lot of championships, so it'd be nice to see us win a championship. That's all I can think of, man. I think I covered most sports. Yeah. So y'all see me next week. We'll cover some more. Hopefully we can get the boys on there, get some more interesting conversations. But if y'all do want to keep hearing me yap, y'all can follow us on all social media platforms, including TikTok. That's 285 Live on TikTok. You can find us on Instagram. I think it's _285 Live. You can find us on Facebook. Just type in 285 Live. You can find us on YouTube at 285 Live. You can find us on Twitch. I can't remember what the handle is on Twitch. I think it's just 285 Live, to be honest. But you can find us on there too. So if you got a preference, you want to see my face, you want to see their faces, you want to see us play games. We play 2K, we play Call of Duty, we play wrestling, we play Pokemon, we play all types of stuff. We got something for everybody. Hell, I'll get into Dungeons and Dragons if you want to see that. But that's been it. I just been yammering because I enjoy being on the streams and talking to y'all. But that's been it for me. Again, I'm Mad Dog 285 Live. Make sure you follow us for our podcast. It's coming back soon. Whenever we get everybody organized, everybody been doing their own thing. Everybody been doing their own thing, living their personal lives. Our boy Sir Garrett just had another gender reveal for his second baby. He's having another boy. I don't know if y'all saw that on Instagram, but he's having another boy, bringing another boy to the clan. He wanted another boy. So he got what he wanted. He prayed for it. So shout out to my boy, Sir Garrett. Congratulations.